Yet another French cleat tool holder video. This one is a dual tool holder. I really like these Ryobi routers. They're inexpensive and they work good. They call them 2 horsepower, but they're probably 1.5 horses. In any case, these two I use almost every day. Matter of fact, I use them so much for one thing that I lock the depth in there. This one is an 1/8 inch roundover, and this one is a 3/16 inch roundover. I use them on guitars every day. One of the kind of unique deals about this particular tool holder is, I'll show you here, the 2x on the bottom here has some blind holes drilled in them that the router bits go into. So that's how I can store them without having to adjust the depth all the time. You say, well, why don't you just set the depth gauge and then, just plunge them down every time you use them. I have tried that, and believe me, that depth gauge will move. It's not, at least on this particular model of router, it doesn't put you back to 0 every time. It goes a little shallow or a little deep depending on how hard you push down on it and everything else. So I like to leave them locked because I use them that way every day. Okay? This one also has the French cleat on the back, and this one, you'll notice, has 2 little spacers that sit against that wall so that it doesn't tilt like this on you, because these routers, you get 2 of them on here and they're pretty heavy. So that cost me nothing because they were scraps, and it helps with the rigidity of the shelf. So let's get to making this one. Hey, if you find yourself enjoying this kind of content and want to see more, why don't you mash down on that subscribe button? That helps us immeasurably. And then maybe punch the like button and give us a thumbs up and maybe comment and stuff. That helps us bring you more content like this. So please do that, it helps a lot. And now, due in part to the overly litigious society in which we reside, listen to my robot.
Danger, Will Robinson! Danger! No, Will Robinson! Danger!
Okay, here we are. This is the file as you would receive it from us. It's a cut file. Since we're making this out of 1/2 inch plywood, I'll get into the difference here in a second, but let's go check the material, and we'll change this to 1/2 inch. Very good. There we go. So so this is all 1/2 inch plywood. Now, if you recall on the sample that I showed you, this piece here was actually dimensional lumber. This piece was a 2x8. Okay, so this piece is 1.5 inches thick. I do that because it gives you a little more meat to glue these things to. Okay, when you put the sides on here, this piece of wood comes right across here, and it gives you 1.5 inches to screw or pin nail or glue instead of just a 1/2 inch. Can you make it out of a 1/2 inch plywood? Sure you can. You just got to be a little more careful when you're assembling it. So dimensional lumber is cheap. I got it lying around literally in the scrap pile, so that's what I use. But be aware of that. Okay. Couple of things about that. If you look here, from here to here is 1.5 inches because that piece of wood comes right here. So if you're going to use 1/2 inch plywood, that piece of wood is going to come to right about here, right? 1/2 inch thick, give or take. And you have this little bump out here. That's fine. It doesn't hurt anything. Okay, you can go ahead and use it that way. That's no problem. If that bothers you for whatever reason, I'll show you how to change that now. So we highlight it, and then we hit the N on VCarve. If you have a different CAD software, do it however you do it. Okay, but it puts these nodes in. And we want this to be a 1/2 inch. We know the whole thing here is 1.5 inches, so we want to move this 1 inch down. VCarve shows you how far you're moving it. I'll show you what I mean here. So we're going to grab it and move it down, and it tells you how far you're moving it, right? So we're going to move that to 1 inch. We actually moved it to 1 inch and 1/1000. Believe me, you'll never notice that. And what's nice about this is look what it did. It changed that angle for you. Okay, it changed it to meet up with that thing. You don't have to do anything else. All right. For this sample, I'm going to go back to the way it was, right? I'm going to hit Control Z, which basically says undo the move, and there we go. So, but I did want to show you how to do that if you're doing that. Okay, so here we are. So let's cut these things. So let's get the tool pass up here, and what we're going to do is we're going to highlight everything. We're going to cut them, except for these holes. Now, if you want to put these holes in as a secondary op, that's fine, but if you want to do them on your CNC, let's do them this way. I am going to deselect those holes. And you go, why are you doing that? That doesn't make, it'll become clear in a second here, okay? All right, so it's a profile toolpath. We're going to go a 1/2 inch deep because it's 1/2 inch plywood. If you're using 3/4 inch, feel free to go 3/4 inch deep. Okay, we're going to go on the outside because we want these to be the final dimension. All right, and I'm not going to do any tabs. You can, do whatever you want. Maybe you're batching these out of one big piece of plywood and you want to put some tabs in there. Feel free to do so. Okay, I am going to add ramps though. It just makes it easier on my cutter. Instead of drilling a hole in there and then taking off at full speed, it goes down in a ramp and eases it into the wood. And I like that. It makes my cutter last a long time. All right, we're going to call these outer profiles. All right, here we go. And they look pretty good. We don't have the holes in there yet. Here's why I didn't want to do those holes. Because if I did them with all the other ones, remember it's going to go on the outside and that hole's going to be oversized. Is that going to hurt anything? No. Is that, but just for the way that I have the sample, right, these holes, we want them two size. Could I, in the CAD, change these holes to 12 millimeters in diameter smaller and then just cut them all in one shot? Of course I could. It would cut it around the outside, and because it's 12 millimeters smaller, there'd be 6 millimeters bigger on this side and 6 millimeters bigger on this side. It'd be 12 millimeters bigger, and it'd be the size of the hole. I don't know why I did it this way, but I did. So let's cut those holes. And because we're cutting through, right, we can use a profile toolpath. If you are using dimensional lumber and you don't want to cut through, you can go ahead and use a pocket toolpath. That's fine. However you want to do it is fine. We're going to use a profile toolpath, and we are going to go on the inside because we want these holes to that dimension. Okay? Same thing with the ramps, right? And what are we going to call them? Just holes. Okay? There we go. And we'll reset the preview. We'll preview all the toolpaths. And we'll get rid of the stuff. All right, so that's what it's going to look like. Okay, that looks about right to me. I should also note, you can move this stuff around. Maybe you want to move this over here. Maybe you got a long, skinny piece of plywood. Whatever. You can move that to wherever you'd like to move it to fit your stock. Okay, so feel free to do that also. That's it. Just let's see how long this is going to take for both of them. This is going to take 5 minutes and 46 seconds to cut them out. Okay. I will tell you that most people are probably only making one of these at a time. They're not batching out a whole bunch. So they want to make them quote unquote by hand. They don't want to burn them out on a CNC. They want to make them by hand. And that's fine. Cut them with a table saw, radial arm saw, whatever. How do we do that? Well, you could print off the PDF file, but that's a waste of time in my opinion if you have a CAD software. If you don't have CAD software, that may be the only way to do it. So I'm going to show you this. So we highlight this piece, right? And we go over here to set selected object's size. We're not going to set the size, but we're going to look at it. Okay, it's 11 by 23. So you go and cut an 11 by 23 piece on your table saw. How about this one? It is 22 by 7.5. All right, so you go and cut a piece of plywood that's 22 by 7.5. These are a little tricky. This is 11 by 7.5. So this from here to here is 7.5, and from here to here is 11. We know that this is 1.5 inches right here because that's what the stock is, and we don't know what this is. It's about 1 inch. So I would just go out 1 inch and then go down. So it's very easy to do. It takes you 2 minutes if you want to make them by hand. All right. So that's as easy as it comes to. You might, if you don't have my exact routers, you might want to move these holes around a little bit to wherever you have them to, and that's fine also. But this is the way that it comes like this. 5 minutes, you got yourself a French cleat shelf for your routers. I don't have on here the French cleat itself, which would run, right along this edge right over here. I batch those out. I cut an 8-foot piece of 3/4 inch plywood and put a 45-degree angle on it on my radial arm. So I would just go and cut off a piece how big was this? I cut off a piece that's 23 inches long, and I'm ready to go there. So I don't have that file in here because I batch them out, and you probably will do the same if you have a French cleat. So I just have that cleat laying around in various lengths. Anyhow, that's all there is to this. Let's go to the shop and cut her out.
Okay guys, we've reached the point in the video where I give you the free coupon code. If I've done my job correctly, it should be appearing right about here. What you do is you go to the link in the description. That'll take you to the file page on the website, and it will try to charge you for those files. What you do is when you check out, you put in that coupon code, and it will give those files to you for free. They're both in SVG and PDF versions. All I ask in return is that you mash down on the subscribe button, maybe hit the like button, share it with your friends, that kind of stuff. That's it. It's free to do that. What a deal. All right, now back to the video. Okay, so here's my piece of plywood on my machine, and I have the program all loaded up in the computer. The head is currently at home position where my 0 is. So I'm going to move that over to right about here, and I'm going to hit the 0 button, and then we'll cut this out, and we'll assemble the pieces shortly. All right, so this one's just one that I'm going to do. Here's the cleat that I'm showing you. It's got that 45 on the end, as you can see there, and it's cut, to the proper length, but I got to show you the proper length of this thing that it's cut to. Okay, so when I put these together, I put that on the back, and I cut it to length. But the length I cut is actually 1 inch longer than the back. So you can see I got a 1/2 inch hanging out on either side here, and that gives me a nice corner that I can screw it to. It makes it very strong, in addition to the bottom being construction lumber. See, you can see here, see how that goes together there? It just gives me another point that I can sink a screw or a brad or glue or whatever. Not like this. I don't design them like this. I design them like this. So I have this whole area here that I can screw or glue. And then I have both up here at the top. So it makes for a very strong connection on all of my French cleats, and all it costs me is 1 inch of that of the French cleat that I batch out. Another successful build in the bag. What would I do different in my after action report here? Well, I think in the files that I give you guys, I'm gonna make these sides go all the way up to the top here. It looks a little different than the other ones, and I don't like that because I'm a little anal, but what else? Well, this is a very kind of unique holder for me because these guys don't change. I never change the bits on them because I use them all day, every day. So I don't need places to store other bits or wrenches or anything like that. It serves its function quite well. These little standoffs on the back make it quite stable. And overall, you know, other than the side things here, I'm really happy with it. And I hope you are too. If you are, or if this interests you, please like, please subscribe, helps a lot. Share it with your buddies, your friends, somebody else that you know that might be into this kind of stuff. That helps too. And we'll see you next time. Thanks again.